Welcome back to Breakfast Central. The Federal Capital Territory Administration was recently criticized following allegations of systemic land grabbing. But what made it gain more attention was the arrest of an FCTA staff accused of leaking internal documents that allegedly implicated the FCT minister in questionable land allocations.
The FCTA says the arrests were for breach of protocol and unauthorized disclosure of classified information, but critics say that this is a crackdown on whistleblowers, not corruption. Joining us to react to this and help clear the air on the allegations is Senior Special Assistant on Public Communications and Social Media for the FCT Minister, Mr. Larry Olayinka. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for asking. We're glad that you're here and you can help us clarify, this subject matter that has caused a lot of stir. Yesterday, we had one of the lawyers of the man who was arrested. I think, first of all, I'd like to start by asking if you're aware of the arrest of Mr. Mar. Are you aware of the arrest?
Well, I'm not aware of the arrest, but I'm aware that a query was issued to someone. I'm not aware that anyone was arrested.
Okay, so the report we have is that he was arrested. Yesterday, we had one of his lawyers, Mr. Adeyonju, join us on the show. And he talked about the man being arrested, taken to an off-site post, and he was detained for a week, and he was being forced to admit that he leaked the documents. And they were saying to him that if he did not admit to leaking the documents, that he would not be released. And he also alleged that this men who carried out the arrest were from the FCT minister. When I asked how he knew they were from the FCT minister, he said because his client told him.
Well, you see, I don't like to respond to lawyers who practice on social media. You see, law. You don't go on television, on social media to defend your client. If you know that the rights of someone who is your client has been breached, there are provisions of the law that a lawyer properly trained should follow. And this fellow that you mentioned, I understand his practice, looking for attention. Okay, you have a client, and your client had issue. Your client was assuming but not conceding. According to you, your client was wrongly arrested and detained. You don't come on social media to begin to ventilate that issues like that. You go to court. The question is, as he approached the court, because you cannot come on television and begin to say, your client told you this, your client told you this. Go to court and seek redress for your client. That is what properly trained lawyers do.
Well, in response to that, he said that... Yeah, he said that he's in the process of trying to convince his client to, take the matter to court to file a fundamental human rights claim.
Listen. You are in the process of convincing your client. And you're already in the media. You're already making noise. Properly trained lawyers don't function like that. Lawyers are properly trained, not the one that went to school in the night. Like the fellow you just mentioned. What they do is they go to court, they apply the law. This one, okay, you are still convincing your client. And you're already in the media making noise, making allegation, lying against people. The other time, this person was with somebody on a live video. And he had already made noise that the person, the land of the person was taken away wrongly, talking about land grabbing, accusing the minister. And on a live video, the person said the land for which that person was already making noise was allocated to her for to be used as a park, recreation park. And the person built a school and a church on the land. And this lawyer was there, still on live video, defending this client, this person. So that's why I said, when you are properly trained as a lawyer, the first thing you do is to go to court, seek legal redress, not come to the media. Let us go to the issue you just mentioned.
Now, Mr.
Let us go to the issue. I've seen documents on your screen. I've seen documents on your screen. One, a document, a RFO, right of occupancy, was issued to Joa Farms Nigeria Limited. Joa Farm Nigeria Limited is a company duly registered in Nigeria. What properly trained journalists do is to go to Corporate Affairs Commission, come out with the names of the owners of the company, and show us where in the CAC document names of any of the minister's children is listed as owner of the company. The two companies, the other one, Jordan's Farm. So because my name is Lady Olayinka now, so when you see a company called Olayinka, that company automatically belongs to me. When you see a company, or because you see Central Nigeria Limited, that company automatically belongs to owners of New Central. So that is why some of us have said that journalists should operate properly. And those of you in broadcast media, especially too, you should also assist to get the public to know, to educate the public with proper information. Okay, a journalist came up with a story. Oh, he has found a story. The minister allocated land, and the first story was that the minister allocated 2,082 hectares of land to one of his children, Joaquin, in Asokoro and Maitama. The entire land mass of Asokoro and Maitama is not up to 2,000 hectares. Combined, the entire land mass where houses have been built. If you know Asokoro and you know Maitama, you come and you should be able to tell the public where even 3,000 to 5,000 square meters of land can be found. Land that has not been used in Asokoro and Maitama. There's nowhere. Even Asokoro and Maitama combined is not up to 2,000 hectares. And somebody came up with the story that, oh, the minister allocated 2,800 or 2,882 hectares of land. If you share that land at 500 square meters per plot, it will give you over 41,000 plots. How many houses do we have in Asokoro and Maitama today? And that is the story they want us to begin to react to. And you came up with a document showing Joax Farm Nigeria Limited to mislead the public, to authenticate story. You were talking about the allocation of land in Maitama and Asokoro, and you publish a land allocation document for showing a village in Buhari. Land was allocated to Joax Farm for it was listed there, stated for farming, agriculture. I mean, what is wrong when we are talking about food sufficiency in Nigeria? What is wrong about allocating land to a company that want to farm, and you allocated the land, and the land is in a village? And because it is Joac, you concluded, you assumed that the land automatically should belong to Joachim, one of the sons of the minister. The second one, allocated of land, he also for that agriculture process to Jordan. There are companies in Nigeria that are Jordan, Nigeria Limited, Jordan Communication, Jordan this and that. All those companies, they belong to Jordan, son of the minister. That's what that's what I've been saying, that people should practice responsible journalism.
Okay, thank you very much for also, laying that groundwork for the conversation that we're having. Part of the allegations, and I did try, I reached out to the CAC. I was going to do a search on both companies to find out who were, who were on the boards. He alleged that there was a certain Chinda who's one of the directors in one of the two companies, and he says that this Chinda is one of the aides of the Minister of the FCTA, because I asked him what proof he has to be able to establish this.
Listen, now we are saying two different things. Chinda, okay, one of the aides of the minister. So what now translate to Chinda being they brought the land? Let's assume, but not concede, that the land is owned by Chinda, a Chinda. How is Chinda the same as Jordan? How is a Chinda the same as Joachim? Isn't it the thing that journalists should have found out before going to press? This, okay, let's say you have concluded that you have affirmed that, okay, it should have been the minister allocated land to his aides. That is, if he has a Chinda as aides, the story should have been, oh, minister allocate land to his aide, not to his son. Don't mislead the public. That is what some of us are saying.
Mr. Larry, I mean, although I know your network is not too stable, we're trying as much as possible to ensure that we can hear you.
I'm listening to you. Yeah.
Okay, so this conversation is basically to hear your own side of the story, and I think that's the right thing that journalists should do as regards to what journalists ought to have done before this story broke. Don't forget that as well. This story was in circulation.
No. My brother. Let me just correct this impression. It is not just for journalists to hear the other side of the story. Yeah. Before we even begin to look for the other side of the story as journalists, we should authenticate the story. For instance, if as a journalist you get a report that Mr. A is dead, you should be able to know, okay, certificate of death, which hospital did he die, or probably talk to relatives of Mr. A. Not when Mr. A is not dead, and you now call Mr. A and say, Mr. A, I have a story, they say you are dead, though, and Mr. A say he's not dead, and you now still go ahead and publish the story and say, oh, Mr. A, they say Mr. A is dead, but when you talk to him, Mr. A said he's not dead. To publish the truth.
Mr. Larry, I mean, I'm afraid we seem to have a lot of a network glitch there. We're trying to really get you clearly, but it's not too clear, apparently. That's what we're struggling with. Hopefully, the network can be stable. If you can hear us again, but if you can you hear us?
We're having a bit of an issue.
Let's see if we can fix that.
Yeah, let's hope that we can fix that. While our production team is trying to fix that, we'll now connect with South Africa to bring you an update regarding what's happening with Operation Dudula that has been stopping healthcare being accessed by foreign nationals in South Africa. Bongani Siziba has been bringing us a live update, and we hear there's some sort of a face-off between parties. We hear that the police and Operation Dudula have had a face-off. As you can see in the video, the Operation Dudula officials are standing by the gate, preventing foreign nationals from accessing healthcare, even though these foreign nationals, like the two women you can see here carrying babies, are paying for the service that is being offered. Unfortunately, we cannot. We cannot take Bongani now, but we'll be bringing you updates. We do hear that there's a police standoff or face-off between the both parties.
We also hope to reconnect to Mr. Larry Olainka. We still have quite a lot to discuss with regards to happenings in the FCTA, and of course this case of leaked document by a member of the FCTA.
Well, if Mr. Larry, I could come back. I do get his understanding and his point that he's highlighted the fact that as journalists, we ought to have been able to do our jobs to ensure that we certify the claims that are being made from the other parties or those who are interested have highlighted that.
Okay,
well,
we have Mr. Olainka back.
Okay,
so,
all right.
Yeah.
Mr. Olainka, if you're back, we'd like to know if you can hear us.
Yes.
The network is
Good, good.
better.
I think this is far better. All right. So you had mentioned clearly that, I mean, we should have been able to get our facts and our claims, but we also want you to bear in mind that that's the more reason why you're here on this platform. These claims were brought forth in terms of explanation just yesterday. And between yesterday and now, my colleague had also mentioned that we've ensured we spoke to our correspondents who are there in Abuja well, currently are still carrying out the investigation. But prior to that, it's only right that we give you a right of response before 24 hours, that you also get to speak. Mr. Larry.
The point I'm trying to make is not to you at News Central.
Okay.
This story was published by a platform, and you are picking reaction from the story, which is normal. And my response is to the platform that published the story. You publish a story saying that land was allocated to Mr. B, and you are using documents stating land allocation to another Mr. C to authenticate. Bear in mind that the public is generally gullible. The moment they see a document, oh, it is a document, government document. A lot of people will not even look at the document. And that's what I've said. The two documents, one, Joas Farm Nigeria Limited. The other document, Jordan Farm Nigeria Estate and Jordan Farm and Estate Nigeria Limited. What should have been done is get to the CAC, bring out names of the directors of these two companies. Because it is people listed as director of a company that will own the properties, that will own the landed property. Not just saying, no, land was allocated to Wike's son. And the other one I said was that you are even saying land was allocated to somebody where that level of land is not available. Because at the time the land was allocated, that level of land was not, it has never been available in the last 30, 40 years in those areas. Where will you see 2,082 hectares of land, 41,000 plots in Asukuru and Maitama? It doesn't make sense. Then on the issue of the person that you said was arrested, I've said, I'm not aware, but I'm aware that it was queried. It was queried, and whistleblower issue, as it also has rules. When you are taking a job, your job has rules. If you are a doctor, you will not go and release medical report of your patient to journalists to publish. And you now say NMA should not take action against you because you are a whistleblower. As a doctor, you have rules guiding your profession. You must not leak information concerning your patient, except authorized by that patient to the public.
But
if you do that, you must be ready to face the consequences. So if as a civil servant, you willingly leaked official information under your care, you know the consequences. We should not come out and also be claiming that, and we are not talking whether or not the document is related to the story. No. Any document under your care as a civil servant, it is against your rule to release it to the public, to journalists to publish. If you have done that, you should be ready to face the consequences. It's not about one online business lawyer coming to television station to talk what he does not know. That is it.
If I may come in here, and thanks for clearing the air on that. Now, we understand that organizations have rules that govern them, and it's not a free-for-all, and there are consequences for actions. But the person in question has denied leaking any documents in the first place. It was also alleged to have been taken to an off-site location. If he is found foul of the law, the right thing to do is to charge him to a competent court of jurisdiction in the next in 48 hours. So this isn't even following the civil service standard and the constitution of Nigeria. How do you respond to that?
Well, the civil service procedure is to issue a query, and query is not answered in the media. You answer your query in writing, right? That, oh, you did not do it, or you did it. That is how it is done. Well, number one, even the query, a letter was given to you, and that letter gets to the media. Is it not a confirmation of the allegation against that person? It is a confirmation of that allegation.
How are you sure?
If you were giving query, administrative query, for you to answer quietly and go back to your house, and you choose to, because the query was given to you, not to another person. The only person that could have leaked that query to the media will be you. So it is a confirmation of the allegation against you. And that is why I say that if you have issues, sit down on your own. Don't let people push you into what will put you into further trouble. As I can, between I and you people that are in this studio, if you give query to your staff and you query your staff for leaking official document of News Central Television, and in 1 hour, that query that you gave to your staff, also you begin to see it in the public, what does that tell you? It tells you that that staff is guilty of the allegation against him. It's as simple as that. Automatic. Because the query was for him to just answer administratively.
Okay, Mr. Larry, I just want to play you this clip.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you've made your points, although I think that was a bit below the line by saying that a certain individual is an online lawyer. I don't know how he's going to take it, but he also, while we asked him about you and these claims and all the challenges, and of course the FCT minister, he reacted to this. We want you to take a look.
There is no 2,000 hectares in Maitama or Asokoro, and that his children are Nigerians, they can get land. The land, the company that the land was allocated to, are in the name of the children of the man. The director is Wike's aide. The land belong, the companies belong to Wike's children. What are we talking about, for God's sake? So we shouldn't be here and be, look at, it's obvious. Those bosses here and search for this company on CAC. Who is the director? The director is Chinda, is Wike's aide. The land belongs to Wike's children, for God's sake. Why are we here and we are acting as if we don't know what is happening in this country? The man has abused his office. Why should you even be allocating thousands of hectares of land for your children? That is the issue. We should not be deflecting or deviating from the issue. And if it is not true, why are you arresting people who you accused of leaking the landed documents, the CFO or the RFO of the document? Well, okay, why are you arresting people if the allegation is not true? We have gone beyond establishing that the land belongs to Wike's children. What we should be talking about, I will not spend quality time discussing facts that are not in issue, issues that are not in controversy. It is established that this land belongs to his children until he brings evidence to the contrary to disprove that this land are not his children. Let the person, his aide, who is the director of the company, let the person come and debunk that the land.
Oh, his aide, we are definitely reaching out to him.
If you want me to respond to Lady Olarinka, it will never happen.
Okay, no, I'm not
never happen. He that was arrested told us that they came from the FCT minister's office and were asking that, is he so person? He said, yes, he's the one. They just told him that they should go, and they took him upstairs. From upstairs, they took him to the outpost.
All right, Mr. Larry, I'm sure you've gotten that, but I just wanted to focus on the last part where he said that you should be asked to also prove evidence that it doesn't belong to them. I don't know how that will play out. But,
I mean, just to chip in as well. Just to chip in something as well before you respond.
Let's just land.
Just to chip in something, please, as well, just before you respond. I know you've said that there were no arrests that were made. I know you've said that all that was issued was a query. But I'm sure you heard when he said he asked the person, and his client said he asked them, where are you from? And they said they're from the FCT minister. And that doesn't look good on the FCT minister. So do you think that this should be investigated and addressed?
Hello. You don't say that doesn't look good. When a man speaks, you don't take what people say. Somebody came to your studio to say with his own mouth that documents showed, assuming they're not considered, showed that one of the directors of the company is Chinda. Chinda what? Did you ask? You did not. And that person was still saying that it has been established that the land belongs to wicked children. To wicked children. How is, because as a lawyer, in the court deal with evidence, facts. How can you as a lawyer say that, okay, you have evidence that a land is owned by Mr. Shegun, and you are saying because that Mr. Shegun is my friend, that land now belongs to my children? How does that make sense to us, to a lawyer? And that is why I said I don't join issue major normally with lawyers that are not properly trained. And I'm saying this: if this person is properly trained, this person that I saw that you just showed me that spoke, he won't come to the public and say that, oh, he established that a company is owned by a Chinda, for instance, and because that Chinda is one of the aides of the minister. How many aides does the minister have? Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five. And because that land purportedly is in the name of that Chinda, and that land automatically belongs to children of the minister. How does that make sense? How do you even comprehend this coming from a lawyer? Can a lawyer go to court and say this to prove his case and he will win? No, he cannot. The only place this kind of lawyer can practice is in the media to mislead the public. And I've said this. I did not say that the man was not arrested. I said I was not, and I am not aware that he was arrested. I'm not aware. I'm only aware that he was issued a query, which is normal in the civil service. And when they issue you a query, you are to answer, not to take the query to the public, not to take the query to the media. Even if what you were accused of was not true, the one that you have done by leaking the query to the media, it is an offense again. That is what some of us are saying. And when we say some of these things, because we are not saying what some people want to hear. Because we are working in government, whatever we say is no longer important. It's no longer the truth. But at the end of the day, you still come back to what we are saying. To prove ownership of a company, it is the CAC document that can do that. If the CAC document shows names of wicked children, they are over 18 years, so they are qualified to own companies. And as Nigerians, they are also qualified to get land allocation in the FCTA or anywhere in Nigeria. We cannot say that because they are children of the minister, their father is a minister, and if they need land in anywhere in Nigeria, they cannot get. That is wrong. They can as well get, just like you and I. But you cannot use document A and B to mislead the public. The documents do not show names of any of the minister's children. That is the truth here.
Okay. I mean, in the same vein,
a competent lawyer should, while he was talking to you in your studio yesterday, he should be displaying CAC document to show this is the document of the company. Oh, this is the name of the wicked children 1, wicked children 2. Did he do that? He did not, and you did not ask him.
You've made your point, Mr. Alanka. Thank you so much. But we could also say in the same vein that you don't have 100% proof that the documents were leaked by the FCTA staff in question. Because
listen, my brother, I have not said the document was leaked by him. Don't misquote. I have not said it.
The query.
I have only said it was queried.
Yes.
And if it was queried, all that he needed to have done was to answer the query and move on.
But you said the query was also
leaked. It was
leaked.
an allegation.
You said the query was leaked by him. And there's no proof to say that the query was leaked, that he leaked his query to the press.
I did not say that. Query was given to you. Only you. And the query is in the press. How did it get to the press?
What if the one who sent the query also? What if the one who sent the query also blind copied others in the email so that they can see what's going on? What if the one who sent the query blind copied others?
What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is, with this kind of situation, a query was issued to you, and the query gets to the press, the first suspect is you. You are the one that will now say again, I got the query, the query, I did not leak it to the press, that is it. This matter is not a subject for any lawyer to begin to talk in the press. It is between employer and an employee. It is after he has answered the query and he has stated his innocence and he's still being treated as being guilty, that you can now come out, and it is after that, after maybe that has been used against him, whether to terminate his employment or whatever. This is when he can now begin to talk about a lawyer. As of now, it is administrative issues.
All right. Mr.
It is issues between employer and an employee. When it gets to a level that he will need a lawyer, he will need a lawyer. That is the level that maybe he has been wrongly punished. As of now, he has not been punished.
All right, Mr. Larry Olayinka, thank you for sharing your thoughts about this. You've established that those properties and the documents do not show. We're hoping that that we can get access, because like I mentioned earlier, we tried to access to confirm who the directors of these companies were. Unfortunately, the incorporation site was down. Yes, we tried yesterday. We tried to access it. It was also down yesterday.
And I also want to say that you should have asked that person who claimed to be a lawyer, where is the CAC document? Because as a lawyer, you have access to documents like that. You should have asked him if he's really a lawyer. He should be able to. That yesterday, he should be presenting those documents, not just talking, not making blanket allegations.
All right, Mr. Larry Olayinka, thank you for joining us this morning. We look forward to finding out what the true position is. You've said your side, the other party have said their side, and we hope that the truth officially comes to light. If there was an unlawful arrest, that a charge be made, a fundamental human rights charge be made, and then we get to find out what the next steps are. But thank you for honoring our call and joining us this morning. We look forward to having you again.
Thank you.